Good afternoon, good afternoon. It is me, Rory Paddock, for picks from the paddock.co.uk, coming to you live on Saturday the 5th of February with what is now being known as best of the rest. There are an absolute staggering 11 races live on ITV this afternoon, but I've put those to one side and I've had a look through the races that are away from the ITV cameras, and I've come up with not one but two horses that I think could run well, both of which come on the all-weather. One in this afternoon's meeting at Lingfield and the other at tonight's meeting from Kempton. So without further ado, let's bring up the first of those two selections, first of which comes in the 251 at Lingfield in what looks a relatively competitive race, despite there only being the 5 runners. I think there's a decent chance for most of them. 6 furlong handicap, class 4 race, and jockey Ryan Moore has an abundance of decent rides on the card at Lingfield, and I'm hoping this can be one where he comes out on top. He's set to climb board number 1 on the race card. Oh, is it? For trainer David Evans. Now, the yard have gone really, really well of late. They've picked up, I think, 3 winners in the last fortnight, so they seem to be having their horses firing well. The current favourite, Radetzky, for Jane Chapel-Hyam, with jockey Holly Doyle on board. Obviously had a decent chance, but he's not the most consistent. Is a former course winner, but to me, I think it's definitely worth taking on. The one that I fear the most in terms of a sort of threat to our selection is actually the outsider of the 5, Porter de Vega. Changed to the yard of Stuart Williams recently, an unstable debut, finished 3rd. I think that's a decent enough horse. I think it will have learned a reasonable amount from its time over in Ireland with Johnny Mercer. And if you're looking for an alternative to the selection, I think the one that's most likely to follow it home is the outsider, Porter de Vega. However, it is always it. I think any horse that Ryan Moore climbs aboard deserves a ton of respect. It can be forgiven its last run. It's only a couple of pounds higher than its last winning mark. And I just think the fact that Moore climbs aboard, the fact that it's not really strong in terms of depth, albeit there's, bearing in mind there's the 5 runners, but I think always it's going to get things its own way, find things easy. Ryan Moore, pretty much a steering job. I know, famous last words, but I think that's definitely the one to be on. And I think Radetzky is definitely one to take on this afternoon. Away from Lingfield, and our final selection does come at tonight's meeting at Kempton. It comes, if I can bring the race up now, it comes in the opening contest on the card. This time it's a class 5 race where the apprentice jockeys take centre stage. And again, I'm going to take on the favourite, Wanda Stahl's-Arm. Obviously did nothing wrong in winning last time out and did it pretty convincingly, but it's been hyped up in weight, it's gone up in class as well. And I think that'll probably be enough to put pay to Dennis Coakley's horse, making it back-to-back wins. Obviously, it likes the all-weather, and I don't think it'll be that far away. But I do think that Dark Company, a former course winner, is the one to be on here for Charlie and Mark Johnston. Andrew Breslin says the ride is actually a very, very experienced jockey, albeit still an apprentice. Obviously, the fact the horse has won here before is a massive plus. The horse has only gone up £1 for its recent win. That came in this grade as well, so there's no issues in regards to the level of ability competition-wise or level-wise. I think that's the tick that it has over the favourite. And I just think hailing from a yard as big as that for big-time connections deserves a ton of respect. Dark Company to add to his course-winning tally. Of the remainder, Simulation Theory shouldn't be too far away. I think Hold Fast is perhaps a bit overpriced at 8-1. But for me, Dark Company is the second of 2 selections for this afternoon's action. Obviously, we do preview, as you can see at the bottom of the screen. Now, we are previewing all of today's ITV racing from, I think, Sandown, Musselburgh, Wetherby, and obviously the major meeting this weekend, Dublin Racing Festival over at Leopardstown. But for me, the 2 selections today, both of which come on the all-weather, it's always it in the 251 at Lingfield and Dark Company in the 455 at Kempton. Whether or not you do them in singles or doubles, entirely up to you. But as always, any likes, comments and shares, very much welcome. And remember, fingers crossed, touch wood, and good luck if you follow.